Green Lanterns number 38. Tim Seeley writing, German Peralta on art. And this followed up the cliffhanger from last issue, where Elizabeth turned out to be Red Tide. I will eat some words on this reveal, because I debated that this might not go certain ways. I argued that, maybe, I mean, I didn't have that strong an opinion on it, but it was more just that it didn't bother me. But I like this issue overall, but the idea that she is actually just this evil person, completely.
And, do you know what annoys me more? I like that reveal even less now, because for most of this issue, it kind of just ignores that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to go back to make sure that
you didn't miss
the
something.
full issue.
Yeah, I was like, I know I missed last week. Was there an issue of Green Lanterns last week? Did I miss an issue? I genuinely was confused. I went back and checked. No, it says part 2 at the start. Yeah,
I think the one moment that tells you that did happen is when Simon's trying to talk her mother out of letting her go. Like, he's trying to talk her out of it because he knows more than everyone else does.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see his guilt, perhaps, next issue when he didn't speak up about any of this. Especially if she ends up doing a lot of bad stuff. What I did like in this issue, and funnily enough, it actually ties into a lot of what Justice League's doing. I liked the question. Jessica pulls Simon aside and says, "Hey, should we be interfering with this? I mean, this isn't an exploding sun. This isn't just saving lives. This is purely politics.
Yeah.
Like, should we be getting in the middle of this?" And Simon says yes. And, it's an interesting debate. And I liked all that stuff.
She calls him out for being personally
thinking with his dick.
Involved. Yeah, she's like, well, yeah, of course you're going to think so, because... And he's like, hey, that's not even fair. She's like, well, then what else is it? Like, her whole tone, I'm with Jess on this, and they're actually arguing like partners. I like that.
Because Jess is horrified. She's seen Regent Vok stab a guy in the leg to make him talk, and she's like, "Hey, this is kind of out of our wheelhouse. We don't do this. We save people."
No, I think this stuff, this angle of it is the best part of this issue by far. Yeah. I think this stuff is fascinating that it's going down that route, and I really want it to go more into that.
Yeah, and the stuff with the Molite in the prison when Simon gets them out, and because he feels guilty that he brought them here, and they're always going to be this sort of looked down upon refugee society.
Yeah. Well, I like what he said too. It's like, look, you saved us, and that was my decision to let you take us from the planet we loved that was going to destroy us, but now we're going to be destroyed by a planet that hates us. So which one's better?
Yeah, I think it's easy to be annoyed at the Elizabeth stuff, but honestly, it's almost just the plot fodder to make all the interesting stuff happen. So you can't get away with a lot of it.
It's frustrating that it's kind of the main hook again at the end, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
At the end.
Absolutely, the cliffhanger's whatever. I don't really care, but everything else, what this has done for Simon and Jess, Jesse's reaction to Simon knowing this and not telling her, I think will be the interesting part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Going forward,
and that stuff is on form, and I'm really enjoying that stuff. Keep it up.
But again, now thinking about it too, I kind of like that they didn't make her Liseth this mustache twirling villain, right? Like. This is how stuff like this actually happens. It could be the person next door, and you would have no idea. You know? Like, there was that movie that me and Pete watched with Daniel Radcliffe where he went undercover for the FBI with neo-Nazis. And, it wasn't... The stuff that was disturbing wasn't the out-and-out, skinhead stuff. It was the dude that was leading it looked like, a vice principal.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice, normal person, but he just secretly was this awful... supremacist, it was...
And that's what goes here. It's this pop star, and she actually harbors really this hate, and for no other reason. Like, you'd think, her mom raised her in this normal, circumstance. Like, she has no reason to carry some of these...
It's a total milkshake duck. These are a term that the internet's using. I heard this, Matt.
No, I haven't either.
A milkshake duck is when... Now, I don't know where this came from, so don't ask me. I just know what it means. Milkshake duck is when someone you admire, usually a celebrity, turns out to be a really awful person. So it's getting used a lot now for a lot of people who are being found out for sexual assault and things like that. That's a milkshake duck.
So it's like you're
I'm trying to wrap my head around why.
Or is it a duck drinking a milkshake?
I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I started with the don't ask me why.
Is this from our friend Boy, where milkshakes are great but ducks are bad?
No.
It could be.
I don't believe so. I have no idea.
I'm looking this up right now. You guys talk about Green Lantern.
Oh, I have a question about the art. At the very end, when Lizard reveals herself and she's holding Jessica up, she seems to have horns coming out the back of her head. Where did they come from? They didn't seem to be there before.
She's just gotten power from this device that steals powers from other races, because she's got like Martian powers and stuff.
Yeah, so I got that, but I didn't realize it was. They gave her horns.
It depends. Are the horns the source of a power? Because then she'd need the horns.
Well, they were talking about Durlans, right? They came there, and we know Durlans shapeshift.
Okay.
Right. So.
Yeah, she wants.
So she chooses to give herself horns because it looks cool.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
No, that's fine. It was not a criticism of them being there, just a query.
The moment I really like actually in this is before they show up for this attack on the villain, whatever his name is, I can't remember. He's basically sorry.
Kerr.
Kerr. There you go. Yeah. He's like giving this speech to his followers. He's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. He was this proper political rant, and I love the moment where the two lanterns appear behind him in the cloud. You just see them coming out of the cloud. I really like that moment. I think it's a really nice little paced reveal.
It is, and I think that is particularly nice as that comes after the conversation between them, up in the atmosphere of okay, but this is political. Are we supposed to be doing this? And them coming in there is the reveal that they've decided to stay and intervene.
Yeah.
So it does work really nicely.
That's a really nice moment. I appreciate it. So you can nitpick a couple of the elements of the plot with Lizard, I think, but I think overall the issue is still actually pretty solid in what it's doing.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So, no, there you go.
Yeah. All right, so Milkshake Duck. I found where this comes from real quick. It came from a tweet from somebody named @PixelatedBoat in 2016. It was like, the whole internet loves Milkshake Duck, a lovely duck that drinks milkshakes. And then 5 seconds later, we regret to inform you that the duck is racist. So it goes along with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a funny, them like trying to explain situations, but how Pete described it earlier, where you find out someone that you really, like or care about does something really awful.
Yeah.
So, okay. Also, real quick at the end of this, I'm now realizing in Green Lanterns that their willpower's low, so the Green Lantern uniform's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like that as well. I like how you see like Jess is wearing like a shirt and like jean shorts or whatever underneath. Yeah, I like that.
Last time we saw Simon though, he was suiting up from being naked. So is he gonna be in this cave, just all in his glory?
Hey, that'll be comedy gold if that's true.
That's what it is. And on the verge of death, Jess looks over and goes, like not even briefs. Like
I get the joke there, but the way his costume's coming off, it kind of looks like there's purple underneath, like there's a shirt. Yeah. To
be fair. Like, when did we see him suit up? Were you talking about when he was in his like home, or are you talking about last issue?
He had that night with Lizard.
Yeah, so since then he's had a night in bed and stuff. So I buy that he's put on other clothes. So
I was just going for the comedy sake because I
to be fair,
to that page.
Not that I would criticize it if they just sort of retconned in some clothes since then. I wouldn't complain they didn't do the naked thing.
I just like the idea of just looking at him and they're on the verge of death and like, bro, seriously, like. Come on.
Yeah.
we're representing an entire sector.